Now we shall see a few conditions seen on the tongue. A pale white tongue is the general practitioner's tool for diagnosing anemia. Only don't mistake a coated tongue for pallor. See the oral mucosa also, which will be pale in anemia. Many of our patients come after eating pan, which stains the tongue red. In these patients, you must rely on the color of the buccal mucosa and conjunctiva. Now in this case, note the cyanosis or bluish discoloration of the tongue and the lips. This is central cyanosis. It is due to cyanotic congenital heart diseases, in this child Fallott's tetralogy. If an adult breathless patient has cyanosis, it is due to severe respiratory distress and inadequate oxygenation. And you should also keep in mind a heart attack or myocardial infarct causing cyanosis. Compare this cyanosed tongue with the normal pink color of the mother's tongue. Bald tongue with loss of papillae. It is seen in anemia and particularly in vitamin B complex deficiencies. Treat it with vitamin B complex injections and tablets plus hematinics. A bald and bright red tongue is seen in niacin, that is B6 deficiency. The bald tongue with loss of papillae due to B complex deficiency. Here note the black pigmentation of the tongue, very common in our population, and it is of no particular significance. Note the irregular black pigmentation over this tongue. Prominent papillae and excessive furring is also seen in varied conditions like mouth breathing, smoking, dyspepsia, constipation, chronic fevers, etc. So overall it is a non-specific finding, mainly suggesting digestive disturbances. Watch the prominent papillae of this tongue. A fissured tongue with deep furrows is also of no particular clinical significance. Only if the furrows are painful, treat them with high doses of vitamin B complex. Now see this geographic tongue with irregular bald patches. The pattern of these patches may not be constant and may change with time. It's of no significance, and giving B complex supplements is not going to make any change in this patient. Just reassure the patient and leave him alone. Aphthous ulcers. This is one of the commonest conditions seen in general practice, where a patient complains of burning and pain on eating chilies, and there are one or more tiny inflamed ulcers over the tongue or buccal mucosa. They are treated with high doses of vitamin B complex. Locally, apply a soothing lotion like glycerin borax or anesthetic preparation like xylocaine ointment or Zyte lotion. The aphthous ulcers, as seen on the lateral margin of the tongue, are self-limiting and heal within a week, but they tend to recur. If an ulcer persists for more than 2 weeks, then malignancy should be kept in mind. See the multiple aphthous ulcers on this tongue, and see the large ulcer on the undersurface of this tongue. If an ulcer is large and hard, it should be biopsied. Leukoplakia. When there is a white patch on the tongue or cheek, what we term as leukoplakia, you should be aware that it is a precancerous condition, and this tongue does show a suspicious lesion in the proximal end of the white leukoplakic patch. Leukoplakia is common in our population where chewing tobacco is a very common practice, and its serious significance should be kept in mind. Note this case of suspected carcinoma of tongue. Note the everted margins of the growth suggestive of malignancy. There is no ulceration, but we must palpate the tongue for induration, and if the base is firm to hard, then the patient must be referred for biopsy. Again, a typical case of carcinoma of the right tongue margin. Note that it is raised above the tongue surface and the base was very hard to palpation. Now here we see a white patch of leukoplakia on the inner mucosa of the cheek. This needs to be biopsied and when possible excised, even if it is not malignant, because the risk of malignant change is very high. Leukoplakia is a very common finding in pan eaters.